Have you ever had a moment where you looked at your life and wondered, is this really what I wanted? Not because your life is terrible. Maybe you have a stable job. Maybe you are improving yourself. Maybe you are doing everything that people around you consider successful. But somewhere deep inside, there is a strange feeling. A feeling that you are moving forward, but you are not sure where you are going. Many people spend years chasing a life they never truly chose. They simply follow the path that was placed in front of them. And the most dangerous part is, they don't even realize it. From a young age, we are taught what a good life should look like. Study hard, get into a good school, find a stable career, make more money, buy a nice home, become someone others respect. None of these things are necessarily bad. The problem is that we rarely stop and ask, why do I want these things? Do I want them because they genuinely matter to me? Or because I learned that I am supposed to want them? There is a huge difference between the two. One comes from your own values. The other comes from expectations. And if you confuse them for too long, you can spend your entire life building something that does not actually belong to you. Think about how people make decisions. A person might choose a career because their family believes it is impressive. Another person might chase money because they see wealthy people receiving attention and respect. Someone else might completely change their personality because they want to fit into a certain group. At first, these choices seem normal. After all, humans are social creatures. We naturally care about how others see us. But slowly, something happens. We become so focused on being accepted that we forget to understand ourselves. We become experts at meeting expectations, but strangers to our own desires. This is why some people achieve everything they thought they wanted and still feel empty. They reach the goal. They receive the recognition. They get the things they spend years chasing. But instead of happiness, they feel confusion. Because the achievement was real, but the desire behind it was never truly theirs. Imagine spending years climbing a mountain. You work harder than everyone else. You overcome every obstacle. And finally, you reach the top. But when you look around, you realize, this was not even the mountain you wanted to climb. You were just following everyone else who was climbing it. The reason this happens is because society gives us ready-made answers. It tells us what success looks like before we are old enough to question it. A successful person is supposed to be busy. A successful person is supposed to always improve. A successful person is supposed to constantly chase bigger goals. So people create extremely disciplined lives. They wake up early. They work harder. They optimize everything. From the outside, they look impressive. But internally, they may feel exhausted. Not because discipline is wrong, but because discipline without meaning becomes a cage. The opposite can also happen. Some people reject ambition completely because they think they are escaping society's expectations. But sometimes, they are still being controlled by expectations. They are not choosing freedom. They are simply choosing a different identity. The question is not, should I work hard or relax? Should I chase success or avoid it? The real question is, am I making this choice consciously? Because the same action can create completely different lives depending on where it comes from. A person who works hard because they love creating something meaningful experiences life differently from someone who works hard only because they are afraid of being seen as unsuccessful. The behavior may look identical. The inner experience is completely different. So how do you know whether your life is truly yours? Pay attention to the moments when nobody is watching. What would you do if nobody could praise you? What interests would you follow if nobody thought they were impressive? What goals would remain important if social media disappeared tomorrow? These questions reveal something about you. Because your true preferences usually exist quietly underneath all the noise. They are often hidden beneath years of comparison, pressure, and expectations. Finding your own path does not mean abandoning everything. You do not need to quit your job tomorrow. You do not need to reject society. You do not need to become someone completely different. It simply means becoming more honest about why you do what you do. Maybe you still want money. Maybe you still want success. Maybe you still want recognition. That is completely fine. The important thing is knowing whether those goals are connected to your own values, or whether you are chasing them because someone else told you they would finally make you enough. One of the hardest things about creating your own life is accepting uncertainty. When you follow a traditional path, you always have instructions. People can tell you if you are doing well. They can tell you if you are moving in the right direction. But when you choose something personal, there is no clear map. You have to decide. You have to experiment. You have to accept that some choices will fail. And that is uncomfortable. Because freedom sounds exciting until you realize freedom means responsibility. Many people are not afraid of failure. They are afraid of realizing they spent years succeeding at the wrong thing. That realization hurts. But it can also be the beginning of something better. Because the moment you start questioning your choices is the moment you begin taking control of them. A meaningful life is not created by perfectly following a formula. It is created by understanding yourself deeply enough to know what is worth pursuing. At the end of the day, the biggest question is not, am I successful? The bigger question is the life I am building actually mine? Because the worst feeling is not failing to achieve your dreams. The worst feeling is achieving someone else's dream and realizing it was never yours. Your life does not need to impress everyone. It only needs to make sense to the person living it. And that person is you.